Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I'm sorry I've been on and off for the last couple of weeks since I came back on the channel. I have a lot of reviews I'm going to be throwing your way. You've probably already seen a couple of uploads before you see this one, but I wanted to hit you with a newer review for something I hadn't seen yet that I've been really looking forward to since I heard about it. It was finally available to rent on Amazon Prime, and I got to watch it. And that movie is 825 Forest Road. It just came out a couple of weeks back on Shudder, and now you can rent it on Prime, like I said. It's from the creator of the Hell House LLC found footage movies, which I really enjoy most of those. I love the first one. I watch it almost yearly at this point. It's a classic, an absolute horror classic. The series, not so much, but we have a new one coming out this year too, and the director, creator, writer made this movie as well. It's kind of his first non-found footage movie, as far as I know, kind of glancing at IMDb, not studying it. Anyway, again, there's like one little portion that's kind of found footage in this movie, but everything else is a regular linear film for the most part. This is essentially a ghost story. And I had a lot of faith in Stephen Cognetti, I think is how you say his name, to bring something new to the table because of what he did creatively with Hell House LLC as a franchise or as the first movie or whatever, you know? I was excited for this. I'd heard a lot of bad about it. There was one YouTube channel I watched that actually said something positive about this movie, and so it intrigued me because there's a lot of differing opinions on Stephen Cognetti and his career so far. But it being kind of a linear, regular old film that's not found footage, I wanted to see what he could do. And basically this movie is about a guy named Chuck and his wife and his sister, who he hasn't really had a good relationship with. He kind of abandoned her and his mom many years previously. He's a little bit older than his sister, and there was an accident that killed their mom. So the younger sister, who's kind of dealing with therapy and whatnot now, comes to live with him and his wife, but they're actually moving to a new home to have enough space for all three of them. The price seems good, a little too good. You know, they get in there and immediately start to have weird things happen in the place. The wife kind of has like a seamstress job of some sort, kind of doing live streams and stuff online too. Chuck is a piano player and teaches people to come to his house and play piano. And like I said, that younger chick is kind of doing her own thing, and they begin to see ghostly things in the house. And the whole neighborhood, including one particular neighbor, kind of warned them about the house, about the area, but especially their house, which was a little strange. I thought it was going somewhere. It kind of doesn't. Essentially, everybody talks about a particular woman locally. I think her name was Helen Foster or something. I didn't memorize it because it didn't really matter to me by the end of the movie. With an hour and 40 of just, I'm gonna be honest with you, unimpressiveness. I didn't have any reason to memorize the name. So if it's not Helen Foster, forgive me, who cares? Anyway, they kind of go on a rabbit hole trip, and the film is divided into 4 perspectives, each of these characters, and then kind of an overall collection of their situation by the end of the movie. And you got about like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, somewhere in there, per each chapter out of the 4. So that part is interesting about their different perspectives, what they're experiencing in the house. Some of the character interactions are interesting. The problem for me is that the script doesn't offer enough to actors that I don't know if the problem is that they're not good enough at acting or if it's the writing is not good enough. I think, in my opinion, Stephen Cognetti did nothing wrong here as a director. The shots are competent. There's a little bit too much shaky cam where they don't have it on a stable tripod or something. But for the most part, I think the film is well shot for what it is. The problem for me, it comes in the fact that it's not scary. There's one element of the film that's kind of, I guess, becoming the thing that Stephen Cognetti is known for in his different bodies of work that I thought was fantastic in here. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a word out there so you know what it is. Mannequin. There's a mannequin in the film, and it's super eerie. I really like it. I think it's great for the movie. That's the best thing about the film. But when it comes to these characters, I don't really relate to them that much. I think both sides of the writing from Stephen Cognetti and the actors themselves, they're all trying. No one's really hitting a home run. That's the biggest issue with it, in my opinion. There's not really any great music or anything like that. But I think the film, in my opinion, because of one portion that feels like a found footage scene for, like, no joke, like 2 minutes of the movie, best part of the whole movie. Not even kidding, best scene of the film. Steven, if you're watching this video, I don't know if you know my channel or anything, but if you happen to know the Night of the Living Dude channel, trust me, stick with found footage. I really think that's your strong suit. And I mean that in a great compliment, no bashing this movie in that respect. I just think the talent that you have is something that found footage could use, because too many people have jumped to found footage as a cheap bandwagon, make a movie, idiots will watch it on Tubi type of thing. You know what I mean? We need creative voices like you, like M. Night Shyamalan with The Visit. We need more stuff like that in the realm of found footage to really keep it thriving, in my opinion. There's not many amazing entries of the found footage subgenre of horror, but Hell House LLC, in my opinion, is one of those. I like the sequels to an extent, not all of them, but they typically have something to offer in some way, fashion, or form, despite the issues with them. Stephen Cognetti proves to be better and better every movie that he makes at his filmmaking, his techniques, what he does. But this movie needed to be scary, and it's just not. And if you can't make a scary film, make one that has great characters and that Stephen King old adage that you care about so deeply that something happening to them is what scares you. That's kind of the different routes you guys can go as horror writers out there watching this review, if you happen to come across it. That's the general advice I would give any writer out there. Make it scary. If you can't, make us care about the characters. Make the things that happen to the characters be something that we're weary about because we like those characters. That's a big, important thing that's overlooked too much, in my opinion. But yeah, overall, the film having no real scariness to it, a lot of jump scare shit, which Hell House has that as well, but way more creatively. It's a shame. It's a shame, because I wanted to like, what is it, A25? Yeah, A25 Forest Road. Way more than I did, and I'm not surprised at all, to be honest, with the bashing of the reviews that keep coming out, because it feels so predictable, but not really even predictable, just not that interesting to me. My wife was kind of watching it with me too. You know, she gets scared a lot easier than I do, but she was also not super engaged with the movie either, because it just really is very wish-washy. I really think this would have benefited from being a straight-up found footage movie. But with that comes with its own problems of trying to figure out how to justify continuing to film. To me, it doesn't matter as a fan of the subgenre, but most people care about that. This movie needed to be found footage. It would have been cheaper. It would have been better for Stephen Cognetti, I think. You could have done the whole chapters thing he did here, but whatever. At the end of the day, do I recommend 825 Forest Road? As a fan of Cognetti's, not really. To be honest, not really. But I would recommend the Hell House movies heavily. They're typically always on Tubi or always on Shudder. They're fantastic movies. I really like, at least the first one I think is amazing. The rest have many things about them to offer despite their flaws and issues. But like I said, we're getting a new one this year, Lineage. I'm really excited about that. So God bless Stephen Cognetti. But if I had to rate 825 Forest Road on a 5-star basis, I can't go higher than a 2 out of 5 stars, man. I just can't. I can't bring myself to. The mannequin thing and that small found footage scene, they're the best things about the movie. Hands down, no questions asked. Everything else is super underneath the line that it needs to be on average, in my opinion. That's just me. Not the worst thing I've ever watched, not the worst thing I've watched this year, just not anything super special. So anyway, have you seen 825 Forest Road? Do you like Stephen Cognetti's work? I'd love to hear what your favorite Hell House movie is, or if this happens to be your favorite. Let me know all your thoughts about the guy and his work down below. And thank you all for watching, guys. Thank you for your patience with the channel and the uploads, and hopefully you tune in. I got a lot of cool things I'm going to start reviewing here soon, like The Twilight Zone I need to finally get on, and the first season of X-Files, soon to be the second season of X-Files, God willing. So anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. Tune in, God bless you, catch you later, and goodbye. And happy Father's Day, too. It's Father's Day. I forgot to even mention that in this review. So, God bless you fathers out there, too, who love horror movies. See you later, catch you later, whatever. Goodbye.